Shalom to the elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians. Yahawah is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahawah, Bahasham means in the name of. Yahawashi is the Heavenly Father, or the Heavenly Son, the Holy One of Israel, who was slain for the 4 nations, slain at the foundations of the earth. He's a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. And Revelations 18:21 is I forgot to say this. Bahasham means in the name of. Qadash is the Holy Spirit, which is ordained and given to the men of Great Millstone. Revelations 18:21 to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all who dwell for the elect. More willingness be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord, and the striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5. And it's not slack. 2 Peter 3:9. Of all of Israel, that's the elect, Lord willing, part of that number, who are seeing the last days of these wicked kingdoms, and also the foreign nations that look like the other heathen nations, but are of Israel, who can understand this is not their rest. So we're going to deal with some topics. Trying not to make this too long. I'm going to deal with judgment, World War III topics, bad meat, bad medicine, chariots of salvation, so-called UFOs. So we're going to deal with this, Lord willing, be edified, and get started in a second. So I gotta turn this down. Sorry, a little cough this morning. We're gonna start right here. Move this down. Let me get the screen pulled up here. Well, at least 8 dead in ice storm rages in south, causing travel chaos and outages. Severe ice storm continues sweeps across the south, causing chaos on roads. Has been blamed for at least 8 deaths, or blamed for at least 8 deaths, along with flight cancellations. There's almost 1,600 flight cancellations. I think that's what it said. And widespread power outages. Long duration winter storm has brought dangerous sleet and freezing rain from Texas to Tennessee is expected to continue through early Thursday, National Weather Service said. So we're going to deal with some scriptures talking about death by cold. Job 24:7. They cause the naked, which wasn't no doctrine, to lodge without clothing, that they have no covering in the cold. Job 37:9. Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the breath of Yahawah frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. Also by the watering wherewith the thick cloud scatters his bright cloud. and it is turned round about by his counsels. Which is like, you know how everybody used to always say Esau, Edom, so-called white nations got that heart machine? There you go. Round about by his counsels. His left-hand side of the Lord. So even if the heart machine does exist, the Lord still controls it. So, and it would make sense because he uses the left-hand side to punish the right-hand side for disobeying. Everybody else is casualties of war. Whoever died in there, some of them was Jake, probably some of them was not. Maybe he was coming after Jake. So, also watering the wary, by watering the wariest, the flock, the thick cloud, he scatters his bright cloud. It is turned around about by his counsels. They may do so whatever he commanded them upon the face of the whole of the world in the earth. He causes it to come whether for correction or for his land or for mercy. So it can come for other reasons. So done with that. Gonna deal with some World War III topics. This happened yesterday around 3:29 p.m. U.S. forces intercept thousands of assault rifles, ammo, anti-tank missiles from Iran. Let's see what's going on.
So the U.S. is sending a clear warning to Iran. A B-52 bomber task force flies over the region. More than a dozen countries taking part in this mission. U.S. officials say that they are seeing an increased threat from Iran to its neighbors as Tehran battles freedom fighters at home. Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin reporting live from the Pentagon today. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Martha. Well, the concern right now is that as protests in Iran like these that have continued nonstop since September 24th, that began as a protest against the death of a young woman who refused to wear her headscarf and has now turned into an uprising against the ruling mullahs. As those protests continue, U.S. officials worry Iran could try to deflect from the protest.
Back this up a little bit.
By carrying out military activities. The Chief National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin reporting live from the Pentagon today. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Martha. Well, the concern right now is that as protests in Iran like these that have continued nonstop since September 24th, that began as a protest against the death of a young woman who refused to wear her headscarf and has now turned into an uprising against the ruling mullahs. As those protests continue, U.S. officials worry Iran could try to deflect from the protests by carrying out military activities that bait the U.S. into a military response. That's why U.S. Central Command, joined by 13 partner countries, flew B-52 bombers across the Middle East Friday to send a message to Iran to halt its belligerent actions. This all comes as Iran's Revolutionary Guards say it has built a hypersonic ballistic missile. General Eric Kurilla issued the following statement. CENTCOM has the ability to quickly put a significant amount of combat power in the air alongside our partners. We can do the same on the ground and at sea to meet any challenge decisively. French President Emmanuel Macron met with several exiled Iranian activists and in the strongest statement yet from a Western leader called the protests.
We'll see. We'll see when everybody turns on you. We'll see, because you keep sanctioning everybody. You keep taking all that stuff. That's why China and Russia's getting ready. They're going to lay low for a second. But you're going to see it's going to change up. U.S. has seized thousands of rifles, nearly 24 anti-tank missiles originating from Iran and transported via ship routes. You see, this is what they gave that stuff to them, man. So now you see, America ain't up to no good. America, Babylon the Great ain't up to no good, man. According to Tuesday, that CENTCOM officials, in cooperation with international naval partners successfully intercepted the transport over 3,000 rifles from Iran to Yemen. It's them taking them guns because they know everybody finna start turning on them. Alongside the rifles, authorities recovered nearly 600,000 rounds of ammunition and 23 anti-tank guided missiles. That's what American Babylon Great was doing. They was going around beating everybody, and they was making them take their stuff. Was making them take their stuff, man, and do all that. Make them take their stuff and be like, yeah, we'll hold some of these weapons, hold our cheap stuff. So, give me 1 second. I know. Bear with me 1 second. Let me check something. Check something real quick. Okay. Okay. Check one more thing before we move on. Gotta put something next to this so I usually put some notes next to the scriptures that I pulled up. Okay. 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 Okay, so we got those two out the way. Now we're gonna deal with this. Kangara Brands recalls over 2.5 million pounds of canned meat poultry products. Tell y'all, stop eating that pork. This stuff getting worse and worse by the day.
Many roads in Texas will remain very dangerous for the next 24 to 48 hours. This went from a winter storm warning to an ice storm warning. And let me show you why. This justice as they prepare to bury their son. But this morning they're
yeah, they ain't talking about January. That. Let's talk about something else. So we're gonna read here. Congo Brands is recalling over 2.5 million pounds of canned meat. We're talking about those chicken, Vienna sausages, that pork. 2.5 million pounds of canned meat and poultry after the packaging defect that might cause contamination was found. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food Safety and Inspection Service announced Tuesday. The problem was discovered when a Congo location in Iowa notified FSIS after someone saw spoiled and leaking cans with multiple production dates in a warehouse. So that's all we need right there. We'll go and read a little bit of that, a couple scriptures for it. This stuff's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be eating this stuff, man. Stuff is not good for you. Day by day, they keep calling it back. So Isaiah 66:7 says, before she traveled, 66:17, it's lucky. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. See, you're not supposed to be eating this stuff. Deuteronomy 14:8. And the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. Now you ain't supposed to touch them. You see one of them laying around, just don't even breathe on it. Just leave it alone. You mess around, get sick. Laws about animals for food. Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, it is or it is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among beasts ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these sorry, Salakia. I think my internet went out for a second. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, talking about them swine pigs, or them that divide the hoof, as the camel as well, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth the hoof, he is unclean to you. So it's not supposed to be eating that stuff, man. There's plenty of scriptures to show we're not supposed to be eating that stuff. It's not good for us. So 20 GOP attorneys general tell CVS Walgreens plans to dispense abortion pills, both unsafe and illegal. Make Babylon the Great legal, period. 20 Republican state attorneys general sent letter to U.S.-based pharmacy chains Walgreens and CVS on Wednesday, telling both companies their plans to distribute abortion pills to the mail are both unsafe and illegal. In the letter, the coalition wrote that the federal law prohibits anyone from using the mail to send or receive any drug that would be used or applied for producing abortion, referring to the Comstock Act of 1783. Stuff not good for you, man. You don't want to have a baby, then just don't have sex, use a condom, but, you're not supposed to be doing none of that stuff right now anyways. Hold on. The internet went out. You're not supposed to be doing that stuff anyways right now. It's a time of evil. You're supposed to be worshiping Yahawashi Yahawashi all day. You're not supposed to be messing with nothing. You're supposed to be focusing on the Lord. It's that time. And I'm going to pull up some stuff, why you don't need to be taking this stuff anyways. You don't want to have no kids, just don't do it. You need to be focused on the Lord anyways. Job 13:14. Who would want to have kids right now? Okay? This is not the time to be having kids. It's not the time to be giving yourself bad drugs and out here partying and having sex anyways. It's supposed to be worshiping the Lord and seeking his ways. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Job 13:4. Isaiah 1:6. If a man, like if you do have a woman and everything, the one thing that the Akim said is you're not supposed to, have sex before you go to camp. Okay, you can't do that, and you're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath. You're not supposed to be like doing sodomy and stuff like that. You're not supposed to do any of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with none of those problems of dealing with none of that because I don't have a woman. But some Akim do, but they already know better. This just for the new people. So Isaiah 1:6. Give me a sec. Isaiah 1:6 says, from the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it. I'm talking about Israel, but wounds and bruises and petrifying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devoured in your presence, which was over there in Israel, saying they're Israel. And it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. That's Amalek, the first descendants of Esau. He's got all the money, all the crates, the Rawchas. Jeremiah 46:11. Up into Gilead and take them, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain thou shalt use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. See, you can't be cured here. You need Yahawashi Yahawashi, man. There's no love here. All love's lost here. Except what Yahawashi Yahawashi has for the elect. Everything else is going to be lost. 3:12. The nations have heard thy shame, and cry hath filled the land. For the mighty men have stumbled against the mighty, and they are fallen both together. So everybody gonna fall, all 17 nations, plus 2/3. So right here we're gonna do P, G, and E to face manslaughter trial over deadly California fire. Pacific Gas and Electric will face a trial for manslaughter over its role in 2020 wildfire in Northern Carolina killed 4 people, the judge ruled Wednesday. See, that was their fault. The judge, Shasta County, ruled over a preliminary hearing that there was enough evidence for the nation's largest utility phase trial on 11 felony and misdemeanor charges, including involuntary manslaughter and recklessly starting a fire. 20 other charges were dismissed. It's unlawful, man. I'm just gonna leave right there. Gonna keep going. EU officials visit Kyiv and Russia strikes civilian target. Look at that, destroyed, man. Destroyed. Top European Union officials arrived in Kyiv on Thursday for talks with the Ukrainian officials as rescue crews dug through the rubble of an apartment building in eastern Ukraine struck by a Russian missile, killing at least 3 people and wounding at least about 20 others. You see the devastation in the eastern Donetsk provincial city of Kramatorsk, where emergency workers spent the night searching for survivors after the missile hit late Wednesday. Served as a grim reminder of the war's toll almost a year after Russia launched full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So you can just be sitting at your house and just missile hit that thing. That's what American Babylon the Great gonna look like, desolated. It's gonna look a lot worse than that. Ain't gonna be no cleanup crew. So let's do 1 Peter 4:8. And above all things, right? Hold on. Yeah, let's read. We'll read that in a second. We're gonna read this first. Because that's a good scripture, we're gonna use it in a second. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. Much more the wicked and the sinner. So it's basically just saying, oh, yeah, that's right. That was a good one, and then we're gonna do this one. Yeah, okay. So I was right. 1 Peter 4:18. I was supposed to go down a little bit. I actually put 8 by accident. And if the righteous be scarcely saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? The rubble, man. Some other way. He's gonna do something about it. So now we're gonna start right here. with the so-called UFOs and chariots. Tennessee witnessed a rectangle-shaped object follow him along I-75 8 hours ago. Tennessee witness, see there go right there, that little weird-looking blue thing. Yeah, that thing, that's a chariot, man. We don't know. There could be millions of different types of chariots for the Lord. Tennessee witness between Lafayette and Powell reported watching a rectangle-shaped object along I-75 South that seemed to be following his vehicle at 5:30 a.m. on February 1st, 2022. According to the testimony of the National UFO Reporting Center, they just dropped this 8 hours ago, though. I guess they just trying to show right now. It said the witness noticed the object entering I-75 South and appeared to be following his vehicle as he drove from the follow-up from Powell. The object matched whatever speed the witness did. Originally white in color and following from about a mile away. The reported witness stated, when I got to the Powell exit, it came within 200 feet. I pulled over on the exit and rolled down the window and took a picture. The witness did not see the object turning onto the main road in Powell. The report included one image shot on March 18, 2022. Lafayette is a city in Campbell County. Population 6,737. Witness quotes were edited for charity. Please report chariot activity. They looking for Yahawashi. They scared. So Ezekiel, gonna read this, and then we're gonna read a couple of them. Ezekiel 1 verse 4. 1 verse 1. It's talking about chariots. Vision of 4 figures. Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the day of the month, I was among the captains of the river of Chabar, and that the heavens were opened, and I saw the visions of Yahawah. In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiachin's captivity, the word of the Lord came expressively unto Ezekiel the priest, son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Chabar, and the land of the Lord was there upon him. And looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And in the midst thereof was the cover of amber, and out of the midst of the fire, also out of the midst thereof, there came likeness of four living creatures. And there was their appearance that they had the likeness of a man, and every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. He said he seen a rectangle. See what I'm saying? It's a chariot. So 2 Kings, we're going to talk about this is what's going to happen to the elect, Lord willing, we part of that number. 2 Kings 2 verse 1. And it came to pass when the Lord would take Elijah up to heaven by whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilead. And when Elijah came back down, they seen him later. I can't remember exactly what book it is, but they came back down, and it was John the Baptist. That's another time for another story later. That's the apostles have that story. I learned it from them. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, and behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, we went down in verse 11, and horses of fire, and parted both the sunder, and Elijah went up by whirlwind into heaven. That's how Lord will be part of the elect. That's how we are trying to get out of here. That's the only way out of here. So we're going to do one more. Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. To the title of Flying Scroll. When I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth from over the face of the earth, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Basically talking about at least the laser beam you send. I will bring forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house. It shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. How about the laser beams? You play around with the Lord, you're gonna laser beam your ass. So we're gonna do Proverbs 9:10. It's just something to close it out with. But first we're gonna read this. California witness says hovering spirit disappeared and reappeared at lower altitude 10 hours ago. California witness at North Hollywood reporting watching a hovering light at high altitude. It disappeared and then reappeared at a lower altitude at 10:45 a.m. on November 20th, 2022, according to the testimony from the National UFO Reporting Center, which is a Chariots. Witness first and noticed the object apparently hovering at a high altitude, at least about 5 to 8 miles away. Appeared very small and naked to the eye. I lost it. The reporting witness stated, therefore, about minutes later, the same orange singular object appeared in the opposite part of the sky to the west, slightly lower altitude than previously. Yeah, it looked like that. You didn't know what it was. They don't know what it was either. We do. It's a chariot. Scoping out the land. So that's enough for that. We're going to do Proverbs 9 verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Holy is, first and foremost, start at the top. Bahasham, Yahawashi, and then the ordained men that he set up, great millstone. We do the best of our abilities to serve the Lord with all we have. Proverbs, and I'm not saying I'm part of them, I'm just a follower of them, I'm a believer. The Lord sent them, to redeem Israel. Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. And the froward mouth do I hate. Counsel is mine, and sound wisdom. I am understanding, I have strength. By me kings reign, and princes decree justice. So, that's how the Lord wants us to be. So, we do our best to be that way, Lord willing, we put in a number. Isaiah 33:6. So, do 5. The Lord is exalted, which means we call on his name all day. Yahawah, Yahawashi. He dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion, which is Israel, with judgment and righteousness. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So you gotta show fear. You gotta show that you fear by watching his judgment be executed in the earth. To the best of your ability. Some have more time than others. For now, I have a lot of time, so I'm dedicated to the Lord. I'll have a job soon, and Lord, lucky and Lord willing, because I do want to get back to work. But I've been hearing that they finna digitalize the money in March, so I might not even be able to get no job because I'm not going there doing that. If I got to take that C-hip, I'm not taking that. So shoot, it'll be tip time. It'll be tip camp out time every day. Eating grass if I got to. Okay. So whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. The Lord's going to feed his elect. Lord will be part of that number. So that's it for this lesson. Try to make it quick. Try to not make it too long. So Lord willing, this is edifying for the ones who, have been trying to stay with the times and stay with the news, but maybe got to work, maybe got to do other stuff. So Shalom to elect Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians. Gotta give all praises to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who led me to this truth. Who was ordained by the Lord, Revelation 18:21, to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all that dwell in the hope of elect. Lord willing, be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5. It is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9. While we all witness the hope like Israel, Lord will be part of that number. All witness the truth and the Lord's judgment in the last days of these wicked kingdoms. So Shalom, stay prayed up. And I'll be back with another lesson when the Lord puts the spirit on me. Lord willing, I get that time. Shalom.